Praise God. Welcome back to the Daily Vent. Okay, so this is a doozy. This is a long topic. We'll see. Let's see how this goes. This might just be a lot of my thoughts written out here, and so there might not be much to expand upon here, but we will see. Okay, you want to see where the world is going? Compare the fashion of homes predicted in the future to your grandpa's house. Chances are your grandpa's house was cozy, homey, and had some uniqueness and warmth, whereas the new predicted stuff looks uniform, rigid, cold. The standardization of homes could be seen as convenient, but the loss of unique ingenuity of the "I built that" mentality could have a cost. Many used to build their own homes. Now more are becoming dependent on others to do it for them. But is the freedom of choosing your own cookie-cutter home just as good as the freedom of building it yourself? Because we have been buying pre-built homes for a while, what is the long-term cost of an attitude that says, dude, just buy it, get them to do it for you. You don't even have to think about it. So if tomorrow transportation collapses and the power and internet goes out and you have no running water, then what are you going to do? We have been lulled into dependence. I could just end it there, but I'll expand a bit upon it. This is coming, I think, from the idea of, like, I saw this ad, whether it be on YouTube or somewhere, of like this pre-built home, and it was like the modern style of where pre-built homes are going. I think I might have actually seen a YouTube video about this one company that does pre-built homes where they sell it to you in pieces. It's actually pretty cool in terms of what the company is and what they do. Although at the same time, this still applies to it because it is like a lot of the architecture, at least from what I've seen. They could have different options. I could be wrong. Maybe there's more like kind of homier, cozier looking, warmer options other than the more rustic, or not rustic, but cold steel sort of appearing things. But essentially a lot of like the modern day design kind of has like this really boxy, rigid, cold look to it, where it's like it ain't wood hand-carved furniture anymore, Chief. You know what I mean? It's different now, and it's not necessarily better. Although it's like this is a thing where it's like depends on who you talk to. But it's essentially like, homes are an example of this, although you could argue this is like in every element of society or many elements of society, where it's like this mentality of just get somebody else to do it for you. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. Get the pros to do it. And as a result, you do less and less on your own. You become less and less skilled at a variety of things because you've offloaded this responsibility. What does that do to people? Maybe that's the bigger question beyond just the actual design trends of things, is what is the mentality behind who is designing what and what the capacity is for doing things yourself. The independence factor is a big one here. If you don't have that independent ability to do something on your own in a variety of different areas, then if you are on your own, don't be surprised when you can't really do much because you never learned how, because you didn't have to. Like my grandparents' generation, probably for the most part, many of them probably built a lot of their own homes, or at least did a lot of work on their homes. Whereas nowadays, how common is that in my generation? Maybe less and less, right? I think that's probably fair to say. Could be wrong, but I mean, that's just my guess, is that less and less people have that ability, skill, and initiative to do that beyond like the really basic things. Like I think my grandpa on my dad's side built an entire addition onto his home by himself, other than the guy that he got to pour the concrete and maybe put up like the very base skeletal framing. I could be wrong on these details, but essentially he did a lot of the work single-handedly. And this is like some major stuff too. Like some major work. This isn't just putting in new flooring or baseboards. You know what I mean? Like this is like a full job. This is a lot. And so it's like, how many people do that anymore? You know, how many people care? Maybe that's the bigger question, is do you care, and why don't you care? And why should you care? You know, again, this show hopefully involves asking questions. You know, I'll essentially leave that there, but it's just like, think about that mentality, and like this mentality that's continuing to become commonplace nowadays. What does that do to us long term? Until next time, this has been the Daily Vent.